A small boy once found a cocoon in the garden behind his home. He had often seen butterflies fluttering around, their wings like painted jewels, and now he had found one in its earliest stage of transformation. He was fascinated by the little cocoon, its shape so delicate and mysterious, and every day he would come back to check on it, waiting for the moment when the butterfly would emerge. One morning as he approached the cocoon, he noticed something different. The cocoon was shaking slightly, and at one end a small crack had appeared. His heart filled with excitement. The moment he had been waiting for had finally arrived. The butterfly was coming out. He knelt down to watch closely. Inside he could see the butterfly struggling, pushing its tiny body against the hardened shell of the cocoon. It squirmed, twisted, and fought with all its might, trying to widen the small opening. The boy watched for several minutes, his eyes full of wonder. But as time passed, the struggle seemed endless. The butterfly was moving so slowly, its body pressed against the narrow opening, barely making progress. The boy began to worry. It looked like the butterfly was suffering, and he didn't understand why the cocoon wouldn't just break apart more easily. To him it seemed cruel that such a fragile creature had to go through so much pain just to come into the world. His young heart couldn't bear the thought of watching the butterfly struggle any longer. He ran inside the house and found a small pair of scissors. With careful hands, he returned to the cocoon and began to cut away at the tough shell. Slowly, he snipped at the edges until the opening was big enough for the butterfly to emerge. Without difficulty, at last the butterfly slipped out, free from the cocoon that had held it prisoner. The boy smiled proudly, feeling he had done something kind, something helpful. He expected the butterfly to spread its wings and soar into the air, just like the ones he had always admired in the garden. But instead, something was wrong. The butterfly's body was swollen, and its wings were small and shriveled. The boy waited, thinking that any moment now the wings would expand, and the butterfly would fly away. But that moment never came. The butterfly crawled weakly, dragging its frail wings along the ground. It could not fly. It never would. The boy didn't understand. He had helped. He had freed it from the struggle. Why then had he hurt it? His heart grew heavy as he watched the butterfly, realizing that in trying to save it, he had taken away its chance to grow strong. Later, the boy's father found him sitting quietly by the garden, holding the weak butterfly in his hands. The father gently explained, "My son, the struggle you saw was nature's way of preparing the butterfly for life. The pushing, the fighting, the effort to break free. All of that struggle forces fluid. From its body into its wings, it is through that pain and effort that its wings grow strong enough to carry it into the sky. By cutting the cocoon, you may have saved it from struggle, but you also took away its chance to be strong. Now it cannot fly." The boy's eyes widened with understanding, though sadness remained in his heart. He looked at the butterfly again, realizing that its struggle had been its path to freedom and strength, and without it, it could never fulfill its purpose. In the days that followed, the boy never forgot the lesson. He began to see the world differently. When he faced small difficulties, like learning to ride his bicycle, falling and scraping his knees, he thought of the butterfly. When he stumbled over words in class and felt embarrassed, he thought of the butterfly. When he worked hard and felt tired, he thought of the butterfly. He realized that every challenge, every pain, every obstacle was not a punishment, but a part of his own growth. As the boy grew older, life gave him many more struggles. There were times when he felt lost, times when he failed, times when he doubted himself. Yet he remembered that fragile butterfly and the lesson hidden in its cocoon. He understood that just as the butterfly's wings grew strong through struggle, so too would his spirit grow strong through life's difficulties. One day when you look back, you will see that the very moments that made you cry, that tested your will, that nearly broke you, were the same moments that gave you wings. Do not fear the struggle. Embrace it, for it is shaping you into someone capable of soaring higher than you ever imagined.